This is Jackie, and I am here with Echosmith at the 930 Club. It has been a long time since we last spoke, about 3 years, APMAs, Warped Tour, a very, very long time ago. It's been quite a while. Lots has gone on. Lots has gone on since then. Warped Tour is definitely not an easy tour.
Yeah.
Definitely different from this current tour. What are some lessons that you learned on the road during that tour?
I think Warped Tour taught us, we went on both 2013 and 2014. It taught us that hard work can pay off and that it's really important. Every day, especially on the first tour, we went out and had all these EPs and we were trying to get people to come to our shows and we give them a free EP. And then the second year, we did a bunch of radio promo throughout the day. And then tons of meet and greets throughout the day before the show, and then we played the show. So we had really long days on every single show moment and day, and that was kind of wild and hard physically and emotionally to get through. But it's really paid off, and we're really getting to see the benefits of all that work and what it's kind of done for us.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it definitely was a great way to learn how to tour, but in the craziest circumstances. So it makes, touring like this at the 930 Club so luxurious, really, comparatively.
Yeah, no, it's not 95 degrees outside. It's actually
And we're indoors.
pretty cold, and we're indoors.
A real bathroom with a shower.
Oh my! That shower is golden. If you're on Warped Tour,
Not
that's
a golden shower, no.
definitely not the same thing. Not the same thing. So how has Echosmith evolved?
You thought you were talking about real gold. I was like,
You don't want to know.
said that would be
Don't
cool.
Google it. Don't Google it.
I think it's
No,
just
I
where
didn't.
someone pees. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is. I've just heard the term.
It's not. It's not like
Golden shower.
the luxurious.
Dictionary.
Yeah, it's okay. Later, we'll
That
save
would
it.
be
For,
nice.
no, it would not be nice. But we'll get back to your music instead. How has Echosmith's music evolved since those Warped Tour days?
I mean, we've just gotten older, so naturally we've changed a little bit just as people, and obviously that's going to influence our music since we write all our own songs, and we collaborate with a bunch of different people too, but obviously, we like to sort of lead the way in sessions and make sure that it's, the band's voice and song. So I'd say that the music has changed just naturally, but also since, we had an awesome first album, we feel really proud of that, and we had a great album cycle, and we just feel like it's really important to stay true to who we are and why people like us, but also to make sure that we're evolving as much as possible and continuing to grow and pushing ourselves and not just going back to our old ways because we want to, and it feels comfortable. So it's kind of a combination of just getting older, but also purposely trying to move forward and grow as a band, and I think especially since our oldest brother Jamie left, the guitar player, because he had a baby, we had to really figure out who our band was without him, and it was hard, but now I feel like we feel pretty solid in who Echosmith is as a three-piece, and we have more synths going on and more keyboard lines like we had on the first album, but we kind of just dived deeper into that.
Nice. Looking forward to it. So new music is coming up. Talking Dreams was so successful. What are your goals for this sophomore album release?
We'll start all the way down. What are your goals?
Trying to think. Become big.
There we go.
Grow.
You know,
And I mean, I'd say just in general growing. I mean, of course, we would love to play the Greek Theater, and that's, because we're from LA and have gone to so many shows there. I'd say that that's a good goal that we have, next step. And yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's kind of just more about growing in general and making sure we're continuing to do that, whatever extent that may be is awesome. But I'd say our goals are to just reach more people and share this music with as many people as possible, especially since the sophomore album is coming and it's pretty much done. And we want everyone to hear it, you know what I mean? Because we feel so excited about it, and we just want to do whatever we can to make sure that as many people, are reached as possible.
Who or what influenced the songwriting on this album?
I mean, a lot of life. We love to write about our own experiences and the emotions and the things that we just go through as people. So, of course, after 3 years of touring, coming home, you live and experience a bunch of life, and it kind of came at a formidable point in our lives because I was 16 when we started touring, 15 and 12, 13. So we're all pretty young. We kind of grew up on the road. And so now to be here and to think of all the songs we wrote, for our second record and how it kind of looks back on those times, at the moments that we're in, also looks, with anticipation ahead. It's fun to remember the stories that we told through these songs, and I'm really excited for the fans to hear it.
Excellent. What role did the Inside a Dream EP have on your transition to the new album?
I mean, there are a lot of songs that are on the EP that will be on the album, so it is technically a good, hint to what's to come. But I feel like it was a great, way to hold people over as we just fine-tuned the album and added songs, because you want to make sure when you put out your sophomore album especially, but any album, that you feel so 100% confident, 110% confident in every little part of it, and make sure you did everything that you wanted to do and tried everything you wanted to try, just in case, because that could be that one song that changes everything, because you're like, oh, I really wanted to try vocoder or something, you know what I mean? So you never know. But I feel like Inside a Dream was a really great way to show people, who we're becoming and who we are now. And also, it's just really fun to make all those songs. There's so many songs we have now that we have to decide between. That's really where we're at for the sophomore album now. It's just like fighting over which songs get to be on the album, because there's just so many. But the ones on Inside a Dream, we all feel really good about, and we have to decide which ones from there go on the album. It's a lot of decisions coming up.
It's a good problem to have. Too many is always better than not enough, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad we're in this place rather than, oh, shoot, we don't have enough music. We have too much music, if anything, and that's definitely a good problem for a band.
Excellent. So what is the sort of vibe that you would suggest for the overall tunes, and what's the one song you hope fans listen to that might give them sort of a sense of the new vibe?
I think Over My Head is a good example of what's to come. I think it kind of bridges a lot of the kind of more electronic kind of stuff we did, and it has that upbeat, almost like dancey kind of feel, but it also has a lot of organic instruments. It's like piano, real bass, real drums, really in your face throughout the song. So it has a lot of organic kind of voices throughout it, and I think our record kind of bounces between those things a lot, and that song kind of represents each side of who Echosmith is now pretty well.
Real drums. What song would you like?
I love Hungry and Get Into My Car. Those are my two favorites.
Well, I was going to say Hungry, but you already said that.
You're allowed to copy. It's okay.
I'm allowed to. Now I'm copying him. Yeah, I would say Hungry is one that I really love, because I feel like it has so many deeper meanings to it. But then musically, it's so different for us, and it was just really cool to kind of explore that area of music for this band.
And you guys have collaborated on stage in the past lots of times. Who did you collaborate with on the album, and how did that come about?
We collaborated with a lot of people, especially just when it came to writing. So we wrote with Ryan Tedder, which was awesome, because we've always thought that One Republic was amazing, of course. So it was really cool to get to actually write together and kind of share stories with each other and just write a really fun song. I mean, the song that we wrote took, I don't know, an hour or two or something. And we just spent most of the time just hanging out and getting to know each other. So yeah, he was really cool to work with, and Gerard Way was really awesome, and totally a very eclectic session. Everyone was kind of just jamming, and it was really fun. And I mean, there's John Foreman from Switchfoot was one of my favorites. And I mean, it's just cool to write with other artists, because you never know. Some of them happen because one of us, Graham or something, followed, one of those people on Twitter, and then, we followed each other back, and then we're like, yeah, we should write, and then we actually did, or it was our managers talked or something. But either way, we just love working with other artists, because you really understand each other and understand that even if you're writing with another artist, they know that, our voice has to be heard, and we have to be able to stand behind it. So it's really cool to work with other people who really get where you are.
And Sydney mentioned earlier switching to a trio. How did that shape the songwriting and the overall sound on this album?
I think we had to work for a few months figuring out who the band was. Yeah, from switching from a quartet to a trio. And that, of course, took a lot of conversation, lots of trial and error, and lots of writing. And I think we eventually, a few months in, really figured out who we were, what we would sound like, and we just kept trying to grow. And we're still figuring it out. I think as long as we're going to be a band, which I hope is forever, we'll be figuring out who Echosmith is again and again and again, because it's fun to explore yourself, to recognize your different sides of artistry, and I don't know, just to experience it and then reveal that to the fans. And I'm really proud of the way we did that for this record, so I'm stoked on that.
Speaking of revealing to fans, a new single, Over My Head, video came out. Who came up with the treatment for that?
Sophie Mueller, she's the director, and she came up with pretty much everything that's happening. Even this part where I was like eating hot Cheetos, and I was like, this is so awesome. They may have been normal Cheetos, but still, it was just like even the little details. I was like, I love you. But she's done so many amazing videos. I mean, it's crazy. Just from Coldplay and The Killers and No Doubt. I mean, videos that, you know, we grew up loving. So it was really cool to work with her because she is just kind of like a mastermind, and we were really excited that she wanted to work with us, that we were like, okay, just go for it. You know what I mean? We're down to do whatever. And we also did talk beforehand a couple times about the idea of the song and how to kind of show that in the video in a really abstract way, because it is a very confusing video. But that's what the song is. The song is about miscommunication and misunderstandings. And I feel like the video, you know, being so weird is perfect. You know what I mean? Because it really captures all the weird emotions that come with being misunderstood and the paranoia of, you know, thinking that they're talking about me, or little things that are just shown throughout the video, and the tension that's there, I feel like is so accurate to what the song is about. But it's shown in such a different way than you would expect, and it's not super on the nose, which is cool because we've done a lot of videos that are, you know, super straightforward and really happy and really exciting and fun. We love that, but it was cool to show a totally different side that was a little darker.
You don't always have to be so literal, and that's fine too.
Exactly.
So Sydney, you have a role in fashion. What role do you see fashion having in the styling of your videos or your performances?
I mean, I love fashion, and I think it's so fun to just experiment with things, whether it's, you know, a new sparkly necklace that I got, and just seeing how it looks on stage, especially when you're on stage. I mean, all the lights obviously make a big difference with what you're wearing. That's why I wear a lot of sparkles. And
You don't have to make an excuse. It's just fun. That's fine.
It's so fun. I'm like a little disco ball. But yeah, I mean, it's just fun to experiment with that stuff on stage, because you literally get to see like what feels right when you're performing, because you don't want to feel uncomfortable. But, you know, I want to wear something awesome too. So it's like a fun balance of figuring out what shoes I can pull off and also give the best show possible without being too, you know, focused on what I'm wearing, or I'm wearing stilettos so I can't really do as much. You know what I mean? I don't want to compromise the show because of what I'm wearing either.
You don't want to have a Beyonce moment. She fell at Coachella.
Oh, I heard about
She
that.
did?
She did, but she also like
I mean, I'm sure she
She
totally
worked
pulled it off.
that.
she totally worked it. It was not fair.
I'm sure everyone was like, we love you even more.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
they were
that.
like, they showed her falling and how she like totally like rebounded
just,
over.
like,
Yep.
And then went right back into it, I'm sure.
Because
Yeah,
she
you
can.
Watch it, yep. So exactly, yeah, you want to be careful that, you know, you're having a good balance of it all. But yeah, I love fashion, especially just in everyday. Whether it's super casual, I still like to have fun casual clothes, you know what I mean, and really fun athleisure shoes and stuff like that. So it's fun to kind of explore that part of myself, especially as I get older, and figure out what I like and what I used to like and how I would never wear that again, or you know what I mean, or I rediscover a shirt that I bought 4 years ago that now is a shirt I wear all the time, you know what I mean. So it's kind of fun just figuring it out, but I'm sort of just inspired by like anyone and everyone just on the street. I'm like, I love that girl's shoes and I love her pants, and I'll like look up something similar and kind of have this like hodgepodge of style, which is kind of fun.
I think a lot of young women do the same thing.
Yeah.
I like that. So being on stage is definitely an important part of what y'all do. How do you use your platform to help promote social change and help other people?
I think what's most important, and there's a variety of other ways that we try to do and that are obviously available, but I think what's most important is one-on-one conversation. We do meet and greets before every show, and we also try, you know, when fans come up to the bus after the show, just to talk to them and hear them out. And I love hearing people's stories, their life experiences, their, you know, the trials that they're going through, and also the joys that they're experiencing. And I think that one-to-one interaction just generally creates more of a personal impact in everyday lives than tweeting something out, which obviously we try to do that stuff as well, and donating to good causes and all of that, which is fantastic. But showing someone that you care for them and you care about them and what they have to say and what they've experienced, I think changes hearts and lives better than anything else.
I like that. Graham, what about you?
To make hope and love.
So what's up next for you guys after this tour? You did a little emo night last night.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of everything.
So emo right now. I'm exhausted. I feel emo, actually.
Same.
Yeah,
The
I
good-
don't know how I feel about it.
See, the good thing about the 930 Club is they have like really amazing chocolate cupcakes. you will find them second wind, I promise.
Okay.
I promise.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
They should be here by now. Someone needs to look at
Where are my cupcakes?
Trust me, they are kind of life-changing.
Oh.
well, I remember when we played here last time they had it, but we were all gluten and dairy and soy free and all these things because we were all allergic to it, and our allergies kind of changed. So we didn't even get to eat them the last time we were here, which is
At least one bite.
Today's the day.
Today's the day?
I'm going to.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what's up next after the 9:30 Club and after Cupcakes?
yeah. So we still have like 2-ish weeks left of tour. So obviously we need to do that. But we are just in the final stages of the album. You know, I mean, everything is there pretty much. Now we're just deciding the album title, the order, the songs that are going on it, the cover of it, and all these important things. But we're trying to decide some of that before we get home, which is kind of a stretch. I mean, I don't know if that's possible to decide all that while we're on tour, but we're trying to give ourselves like a deadline. But we just want to put out this sophomore album as soon as possible. I mean, I would say hopefully summer-ish. And, you know, I'm just really excited for that because, I mean, we're touring right now, technically off of the EP. So that means that we're just going to be touring extra long because we're doing the EP tour right now, and then we're going to be doing the album tour probably for who knows how long. Last time it was 3 years. So we're just excited to just be out here again and playing as many places as possible and reaching as many people as possible and, you know, just sharing as much love as we can. But yeah, tour's been great, and I'm excited to just keep doing it. It's nice.
Well, stay tuned for much more from Echosmith. Get them to the Greek. This is Jackie. Thanks to In the Key of Change and Chorus FM.